Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0, and the Premier League scriptwriters, let's just say once again we applaud you. They were on one. A film with Steve Parish, the chairman of Palace, on Friday. I didn't mean to get into this, but I did ask him, just as you do, about how he would feel watching Eberechi Eze play against Palace for the first time, and he laughed. He said,
"He's a beautiful human being, he really is. I don't feel anything other than love for him. Wilfred, him, nobody has given more to a football club, so we're really pleased for him."
But he said against Palace, he hopes he has an off game. He actually then caught himself, God bless, because he's prescient. He said he hopes he has a great game, but the Palace win. And words which, well, let's just say, the opposite came true in this game. We wouldn't know it from the beginning now. Arsenal struggled to assert themselves against a Palace whose identity is true. And Oliver Glasson, they're deeply organised, they're robust, they snap to take their chances on the counter. From the off, Adam Wharton, what an incredible footballer he is. Wiltshire Pearl. I actually had the chance to see him play in the flesh in that European game. Just his vision, his passing, it is absolutely transcendent. We interviewed him last week. You can find the interview on our YouTube. He wasted no time reintroducing himself to Eze, wiped him out early. It almost felt like he knocked him out of the game. Eze actually had a quiet opening in the wake. So did his team. It took them 30 minutes just to register a single shot on goal. Palace did what Palace do, set to maraud on the break. But the very first time they dropped their guard, free kick conceded, won by Eberechi Eze, centrally deep. Declan Rice lashed an arcing drive towards Gabriel. It was a Palace defender that dropped it back into the Kenny Loggins danger zone, centre of the box. Who swooped in? Had to be Eze. A chance that, if you've actually watched Arsenal all season, he's had a couple of these arriving late in the box, miscalibrated, driven high and wide. But here, hard to control, ball bounced up chest height. Eze just muscle memory, went kung fu fighting, airborne, both feet. And I have to say, with stunning body control, kept the ball on target, lashed home. A slight celebration, seen by Arsenal fans as natural. Raw, the Premier League scriptwriters, this is poetry. This is trauma. That goal was wonder in equal measure.
Yeah, you kind of had that sense that in a game like that, it would be Eze who'd make the difference. As you say, he's got that in his game, I think, and it's something that looks like Arteta is starting to kind of try and elicit deliberately. We know that Arsenal are dangerous from set pieces, but a lot of set pieces, Rog, lead to second balls. And if you've got someone in that kind of Frank Lampard position to convert those second balls, then that's another weapon that you can use. And what Mikel Arteta is doing is accumulating weaponry. That Arsenal team, like all the best teams, can hurt you in multiple ways. And adding Eze to what they already had, it's another option to do damage.
I mean, I think this team is so fascinating to watch as Mikel is really starting to understand just a multitude of different operations, different opportunities, different possibilities. I mean, just a wide array of weapons. It's almost like when you're a gamer and you're learning how to work the different tools at your disposal. But this was delirious. This is like a moment from epic poetry. And my God, Arsenal loved it. The stadium announcer 3 times screamed Eze's name into the North London night sky. Set piece again. Ole, ole, Arsenal Football Club. This is an incredible statistic that I think they popped up on Sky television. This was their 9th goal already from a set piece, first in the league. Penalty goals, first in the league. This one is incredible. Open play goals, 17th in the league. Raw, does it matter? Or is that just modern football? This is where we are. This is who we are. And Arsenal are just the masters of it.
Yeah, they were the pioneers. I think it's Arsenal who, through Nicolas Jova, the real manager of Arsenal, who kind of developed this style that is now, it's kind of de rigueur across the Premier League. You're not just, we've talked about this before, you're not just playing for set pieces, you are creating set pieces. You are using individual moments in the game to act as those set pieces, to run through set moves. Does it matter that Arsenal don't score that many goals from open play? Morally, not at all. Goals are goals. You use what you've got. In terms of like performance, if I was an Arsenal fan, it would just give me a little bit of cause for concern. Because I think at some point, and we saw this last season, their set pieces dried up. That the way teams were defending the set pieces did change. Yeah. And towards maybe the last third of the season, they weren't quite as effective. They still scored occasionally, and they'd still scored so many of the
they dried up. At the beginning of the season, I did ask Arteta, I said, are you concerned? The weapon of set pieces did become dammed up as opponents study. I said, what's the solution? Is there a new? He just said different set pieces.
There you go. But presumably the same pattern repeats, and Mikel Arteta will know that. But it does expose you to just a little bit of bad luck. If you get the wrong bounce of the ball, if you get one mistake, one slip, the Premier League is ruthless. I think Arteta would probably prefer to have a little bit of daylight in some of these wins.
I look at Arsenal Football Club. This is the season in which, the trends of football and football moving ever more through the cycles of like total possession to counter pressing. We know the current motif. The Premier League has almost become like the NBA, where talent stuffed teams, and every team, exhausted players, kind of tactical, neutralising. It's almost been reduced to NBA-style duels, one-on-one, where marginal advantages in fleeting moments decide games. I almost credit Mikel Arteta. I credit Arsenal for being ahead of that curve. They've spent the last 2 seasons perfecting the art, almost ready for this moment. They are the masters of the martial art of set pieces. It is. I mean, jiu-jitsu is it one of the most lethal martial arts. It's not the most beautiful one to watch. It is the most pragmatic and probably the most controlling. And this is where we are. Robust defending, seizing moments, making them count through clean sheets and true collective ferocity, which I don't think Arsenal get enough credit for. This is a team in a season of erratic performance and vulnerability it's built to win like no other. Here's the killer stat, Raw. That Arsenal backline has permitted just 1 shot on target in their last 3 Premier League games, kept a clean sheet. This is mind-blowing. That Arsenal backline is a thing of cohesive, robust, deeply intelligent tactical beauty.
Absolutely. And in football, the phrase has always been defence wins championships, and that remains true no matter how attractive teams are. Even the great Man City teams under Guardiola didn't concede many goals because they always had the ball. And if you've got the ball, the opponent can't score. I think what Arsenal deserve a huge amount of credit for is 2 aspects. One is the Jova Arteta-inspired move to set pieces, which worked, as you say, because of the busy schedule. There's no time to coach anybody. But what you can practice on the 1 day of training you get a week that's not either warm down or warm up for a game.
It's how to get Gabriel's big head on the ball.
Is aiming at Gabriel's big head. And the other thing is that I think they learned from Chelsea, you need more players. You look at the depth that they've got, you need a squad that can sustain injuries and tolerate it. Although, Roger, would take exception with one thing, that the most effective martial art is punching people in the balls.
As Tottenham did to me 3 times this afternoon. But this is not about me. Arsenal created more chances. A lot of them off set pieces. Oliver Glasner, by the way, God bless. There's tactics, and then there's just, you know what I mean? I don't know if this is a thing. You can counter poetry. I don't know if that's possible. Football. He brought on Eddie Nketiah around the hour mark. That would have been just like, you hit me with Eze. I'm going to bring you back with your boy. Barely had a sniff. Arsenal continued to kind of corner probe. Gabriel almost doubled the lead. In truth, Palace are adapting to European play. That twice-a-week rigour really showed. I think they summoned 1 shot on goal the whole game. Only meaningful action bar the goal that won it was at the final whistle when Eberechi Eze took a tour of the field and was applauded from all 4 sides of the stadium, as he deserves. What a beautiful, honestly, soulful, really quite inspiring when you look at his whole arc of his career. Beloved by all apart from Brighton fans. And this is a thing that I think should have Arsenal fans' spirits truly soaring. Palace were another team that last season shocked and dropped the Arsenal, but have been defanged and overcome this season.
Yeah, they're passing the challenges one by one, Arsenal. They're just ticking the games off. They are the bastions of consistency in a really inconsistent league. And there is an echo there of last season where everybody else is in this giant morass and Arsenal are just kind of sailing away from it onto smooth waters.